You don't notice it when the notification comes in. It's just the monthly bill. Same provider, same plan, same phone, but the number is higher than it was last month. That's the paradox. Nothing changed except the price. You scroll, expecting to see the reason jump out. Extra data. International call. Some mistake you can mentally correct. But the usage looks normal, boring even. No spikes, no surprises. Just a slightly larger total sitting there as if it belongs. You shrug it off. A glitch, maybe. Or a one-time adjustment. Not worth the time it would take to chase it. Until next month. The bill creeps again. Not enough to feel like a breach. Enough to feel irritating. You start paying attention now, but there's still nothing obvious to push back against. The plan name hasn't changed. The allowances haven't moved. The language on the statement is familiar enough to feel trustworthy. So where did the jump come from? It didn't arrive as a decision. It arrived as an assumption. Somewhere along the way, the bill stopped being a price for a service and became a container for quiet additions. Charges that don't look like changes because they're framed as adjustments. Fees that don't announce themselves because they're labeled as standard. Increases that hide behind words like updated, revised, or aligned. None of these sound optional. That's intentional. Think about how rarely you actually look at a phone bill anymore. It used to be something you checked line by line. Now it's background noise. The payment goes out automatically. The service keeps working. Silence becomes confirmation that everything is fine. That silence is expensive. The system doesn't need you to agree to a higher price. It only needs you not to object. And objection requires friction, time, energy, the sense that something clearly went wrong. So the changes are designed to stay below that threshold. Then there's the timing. Increases don't arrive when you're actively thinking about your phone. They show up during renewal cycles you don't remember agreeing to, or after a network improvement, or alongside a policy update that applies to millions of accounts at once, which makes it feel impersonal and therefore immovable. You weren't singled out. You were included. It's the same pattern in other places too. A streaming service raises its price while the app looks identical. The content grid doesn't change. The recommendations still feel tailored. You don't feel like you're paying more for more. You're paying more to keep things exactly as they are, or take home internet. The router hums along, doing its job. Speeds feel the same. But the bill edges upward year by year, wrapped in language about infrastructure and support. Nothing you can point to. Nothing you can opt out of without disruption. The common thread isn't technology. It's familiarity. Once something becomes embedded in your daily life, it stops being evaluated. It becomes assumed. And assumed costs don't need justification. They just need continuity. That's why the phone bill can rise without a plan change, because the plan isn't the product anymore. The habit is. You don't pay for minutes or data. You pay to not think about your phone working. You pay to keep the background stable. And stability is where systems learn how much they can take without being noticed. So the increase doesn't feel like a charge. It feels like gravity. And by the time it registers as unfair, it's already been normalized, rolled into your baseline. Too small to fight alone. Too routine to treat as an exception. The uncomfortable truth is this. The more reliable something becomes, the less transparent its price needs to be. Your trust didn't protect you from the increase. It's what made the increase possible.